Howdy, welcome back to another video. It's gonna be a quick one today. This kind of happened out of nowhere, but right here is my alternator to fan belt. It flipped over, and let's get a good spot here. You can see that a lot of the belt flew off, and I cut it off of there so it's not usable. I wasn't gonna try and flip it over because the belts inside of it are ruined. I've been without the truck for 6 or 7 days now. It's rough. So I just got a new belt in the mail today from Rock Auto, and right now we are working on taking the air conditioning to fan belt off and the power steering to fan belt off, because I'm going to show you why here real quick, because there's a lot of stuff in the way. Alright, so right here you have your alternator to vacuum pump belt, and that one would be really simple, but these are very prone to shearing or getting worn down, flying off, and taking out transmission coolant lines and stuff like that. So pretty big deal. This pulley runs to the very back groove in this pulley, so not very convenient, but I couldn't find any videos like this on YouTube, so I figured I should probably film what I'm doing and maybe help some people out. So these are 9/16 bolts, and basically I loosened all of them all the way around, and there is a 1/2 inch bolt there. This bolt right here you're gonna want to take out. It's on the back side. This bolt prevents it from pivoting when you get all these bolts loose. So you can see it moves a little bit with some force. Make sure your bottom 2 bolts, which are the like 6-inch bolts, I think, make sure those are almost all the way backed out, and then it'll give you full range in these slots. So that belt is now right here, and now we're going to be working on getting the fan blade to power steering pump belt off, which is going to be interesting because from the looks of it there are no slots. The only slot that I could see is that bolt underneath the belt there, down there. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll let you know how I do. Alright, here's an update. I found another piece of my belt, but I've loosened this bolt and this bolt so far, which is actually on a groove. There's a groove in there. It's about 4 inches wide, or long, I guess you could say. It can slide inside that 4-inch track. I need to loosen this one, that one, and then there is one on the bottom too. I'm not sure if I'm doing it the hard way or the easy way, but it doesn't seem like it's the easy way. So you can see right down by the bottom that there's another bolt there, and it looks like that's it for the bottom, so I'm gonna try and get those loose. Alright, good news, people. I backed out this bolt, this 5/8 bolt on top, fairly far, and I just pushed down on top of the power steering assembly here. I also loosened each bolt except for the bottom one so far, so I don't think that really mattered. And then you got to make sure that 9/16, or what is it? Yeah, 9/16 bolt down there is loose, because that's the actual track slot right there. So now we're going to take this belt off. If I can do it one-handed. Okay, that belt's off. So now we gotta get our new belt around this entire fan shroud, I'm pretty sure, or this fan. So I'm gonna mess with that. Alright, I got it. The easiest way to do it is get your belt around this fan, and then what I did is I pulled, let's see, it'd be these two belts off from the bottom pulleys and up against the bottom of this. See if I can do it. Anyways, it was like that one, so then I could slip the whatever belt you're replacing through the ones it needs to pass in order to get to the back. So now it's on the right pulley, and we have to take this bolt, loosen it, and take the idler belt off, and then slip our alternator to fan belt back on. Alright, I've got this fan to alternator belt in the third pulley groove on the top and bottom set of pulleys, and I loosened, let's see, I loosened this bolt here. You gotta pay attention to where it's at as well, because it's very important. That just allows the alternator to move closer so you can slip the belt over. The idler belt fell off, but it's right here, so I'll be putting that back on as well. Alright, so I don't remember where I left off, but as you can see, the belt might have been shorter because this is farther down on the slot, but it's in there, and this was loose because of being shorter, but that I loosened that 10 mil bolt and that 10 mil bolt inside that slot and pushed it down, so now it's a lot tighter. It was like fall off loose. So now we're gonna get back to getting alright, just got done putting on this belt, which is the power steering belt. So the top bolt allows it distance to pivot, but the bottom bolt tightens it on the track. So I took vice grips and pulled upwards as much as I could, and I also got a hand underneath the bottom of it and pulled up, and it's kind of a handful, but you want to try and tighten this as you do that, and then as you get tighter it's easier to just use one hand to pull up while you tighten. But nice and tight. I made sure to tighten up all the bolts I loosen, so now I'm going to tighten up that pivot bolt there. Alright, around both of the nearest pulleys to me, the pulley grooves, and oh yep, there we go, around the air conditioning compressor. So now we're gonna have to put that bolt back in, tighten up these bottom two like 8-inch bolts, 6-inch bolts, tighten up that back bolt there, that bolt, and that bolt right there. Then all of our belts should be tight. Alright, that was pretty easy. All I had to do, was take these vice grips, clamp around here, and use the vice grips as a handle to get it at the lowest point in these tracks, so the tightest. And then while I was pushing with one hand, I tightened these two bolts with the other, and I got that bolt tightened and this bolt tightened. So now we got to do that bolt and the one on the back, on the left. Alright everyone, we got all the belts back where they're supposed to be, pretty tight. So now we're gonna start it and make sure nothing flies off. So as you can see, the fan to alternator belt is still loose looking. They usually shake like that quite a bit, but I might take it over to my buddy Nick's and see if we can get it any tighter. I kind of need two people for it. One maybe using a pry bar to pry the alternator over more, and then someone there to tighten the bolts, because I could manage the power steering pump and AC compressor by myself, but the fan to alternator belt, I couldn't move it any more than what I have it, so we'll have to see. But as you can see, we have a charge on the dash. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. The needle moved a little bit. I was worried for a second, but we're all good now.